So, the Premier League season is now officially over, and I thought this would be the best time to do a season review on Wolves as a whole, talking about the season, about whether it's an achievement, an overachievement, underachievement, just going through all of my opinion, of course, and the final standings, and just where I stand on us next season as well. So, of course, we're going to start with the final finishing for Wolves. We finished 10th in the end, getting 51 points. And, I mean, for me, from like a preview I've done, or what I thought at the start of the season, I think I predicted us to finish like around 10th, 11th place, which, you know, seems to be, I think, a very respectable position to finish. But if you look back at our season and where we was, you know, coming into 2022, would you have taken 10th really? Probably not. You would say we kind of, not bottled it, but we really underachieved. We should have done a lot more. With some of the games we had as well, coming into the final run-in. And, I mean, if we go back to the start of the season, what was it, the first 3 games, 0 points, 0 goals, losing 1-0 in all 3 of them against Leicester, Man United and Tottenham, I believe. And yeah, like even, I mean, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people as well, you know, even though we lost all them games and didn't score, they were still very, very positive because you saw the performances we were putting in. We didn't deserve to lose any of them games, I thought. It's kind of been the story of our season where we just haven't been able to score goals yet again. And that just kind of proved in the first 3 games, and it's just carried on throughout the whole of the season, really. We had a fresh and fit Raul Jimenez back from his serious head injury, so we thought, you know, I never thought he'd come back the same player, but, you know, we had no idea. We saw Johnny come back from, 2 ACL injuries, and we saw what he'd done as well. He was coming back. Neto was coming back. So it felt like a lot of our old players who were injured for the majority of last season felt like new signings for us. I felt like we could have really kicked on again this season. It did kind of prove that, really. You know, we were slowly picking up some good points here and there. We had some really good games. Like the Villa game, coming from 2-0 down to win 3-2. We had a lot of games like that. The Everton game, we played very well. Now, of course, we had a big Man United win as well at Old Trafford. Our first win there in God knows how long. I think 60 years, 70 years, something like that. And then what was it, coming into January or the new year? I think we was around 7th, 8th position with a few games in hand, and I think maybe 4 or 5 points off the top 4. And there's a very, very slight outside chance that we could get Champions League football. Now, I never, you know, we can all dream about it, and I dreamt about playing Champions League football, and that's like, even now, seems so far away from us at the moment. But I even at that time, I thought, you know, the position we're in at the moment, you know, we should at least get Conference League or even Europa League football. I think that's where we definitely should be aiming at this point, even though we still could have got Champions League football very easily with some of the games in hand we had. But, you know, Wolves do typical Wolves things, and, you know, lose 3-0 to Brighton and lose to Burnley and drop points at Norwich. You know, the decline has been like, I don't know if I can put a word on it. It's just been so like rapid, and we could just completely just dropped out. And, you know, while we've been slowly declining, you saw Newcastle get better, Leicester get better, Brighton as well have been you know, they haven't been consistent, but they've been slowly getting some good results. They got a result against Tottenham and Arsenal as well, so those slowly creeping up behind us. And we were just dropping off like as it got to like March and then April as well. We were just slowly dropping off as well. And then just the past month or so, it's just been like completely. We haven't won a game. Like I've got here, we haven't won a game since that Villa game, which was April the 2nd. And I still carried on now. We haven't won a game since then. And again, some silly results. That Brighton game, 3-0 against Brighton. That could be one of the worst performances I've seen in a very, very, very long time, I'll be honest. And the games against Newcastle, the Burnley game I just mentioned, losing that as well. And, you know, we've just seen them get relegated. Norwich as well, like I said, playing them 2 times this season, not winning, drawing both of them. There's just been some silly results, and then you have the ones like the Man City game, for example, where, I mean, it's just Man City, and the Liverpool game as well, where, I mean, arguably we should have got something out of that. You know, we scored a good goal, and then we had 2 pretty much, you know, clear cut chances. If that's City, if that's not Man United, if that's City, if that's Liverpool, if that's Tottenham now or Arsenal, then that could have been easily a 3-3 draw in the end, or even us winning, because we give away some sloppy goals in that game as well. The last 2 goals were very much avoidable for me, but it's just been one of them seasons where it's just a what if season, and they're kind of just the worst to take, because the performances have just lackluster so much, and you hear players say, I think Cody said it before, where the hate, where fans saying we're still on the beach with a few games to go, but it generally just seems like that. They just cannot be arsed. Like that Norwich game, like the Cody as well, getting hooked at half time against Norwich when you're losing, or it's not a good look at all. It's really not a good look, and I mean there's gonna have to be some big changes in the summer. I don't think massive wholesale changes, because I think that's probably too risky to do, and it's a big summer this summer. I think we always say it a lot. We always say this is a big summer. I think last summer we said it's a really big summer, but I think this one could really be massive for us, because if we get it wrong, then I could really see us in an even worse position than we was last season. To be honest, it's one of them. It really is one of them. And is Bruno Lage the guy to take us? It's still up in the air, to be honest. In my opinion, I would, but I think we should stick by him. But if someone like Lopetegui is available and he wants to come to Wolves, and he's he's open to coming to the Premier League and joining Wolves, then to be honest, I would take Lopetegui if he's available 100%. I think I would feel really bad for Bruno Lage, because he hasn't really been backed in the transfer windows at all, really. With a calibre of Lopetegui, he was at Seville, he won the Europa League, I believe. It was at Madrid, Spanish national team, the under-21s for Spain. I think he won a few European championships for them as well. It's a man with a lot of experience in Europe and around Europe and winning. He's got that experience, and he's got that know-how of winning. There'll be some big changes, I believe, with players as well, and maybe even management or the backroom staff. I don't know, but it's gonna have to be some big changes in the summer, and hopefully there is. Fingers crossed. Again, I'm not going to judge or anything like that. I'm only going to judge us until the transfer window is completely shut, and then I'll judge whether we've had a good window or a good window or a good summer or whatever. Again, hopefully there's going to be a lot of new content coming out over the summer. Hopefully there's a lot of signings, so we're going to do a lot more videos in the summer. But fingers crossed on that. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Again, I've got a lot of new content coming out this week about the end of the season, so make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you never miss a video. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on the season as a whole. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.